the Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has just passed the Police Minister a note which should be worked into the briefing that they're now about to give in Reiger Park, where community members say they're absolutely fed up with the rate of violent crime, gun violence in particular, that's affecting the young men in neighbourhoods such as Reiger Park. It's been a problem for many years, and they're now hoping that the provincial government and indeed the police ministry will be able to bring forth some sort of solution to bring to an end the alarming bloodshed. The minister is now speaking.
I'm joined by Premier, the head of the DPCI in Gauteng, the Station Commissioner. Yesterday, I visited Reiger Park to see the crime scene where two officers belonging to the gang unit were brutally murdered. We then visited, the Premier and I, together with the Acting National Commissioner, General Dimpane, and General Ntombeni, the Provincial Commissioner, visited the families of the two officers, Constable Sibeko and Constable Tapelo Klomatsane, in Brakpan and then later in Mamelodi. We visited the families. There were many people, family members, friends and community members at the houses of the two slain officers. It was very sad. The families are going through a very difficult time. The two officers were, as I indicated yesterday, two young men, 27 and 28 years old, who joined the police service about 2 years ago. I can say that it is very difficult as the police minister to visit the two families. In response to the high levels of gang violence, and in response to the demands of the community, we took steps to strengthen the anti-gang units, and two of whom were slain on the 7th of August. So it's very important for our people to understand what our police officers go through. I don't think there's any other career in which people have to put their lives on the line. The funerals of the two officers will take place over the weekend. I think the Premier will be attending. I will be in KwaZulu-Natal, so will be unable to attend. Overnight, investigations continued, and we're here to report the outcome of those investigations overnight. So I can confirm that a person of interest has been taken in for questioning, and that two rifles belonging to the South African Police Service were recovered in one of the informal settlements. You might recall that yesterday one of the concerns of the community members who assembled to convey their feelings and concerns to me, one of the concerns was about the fact that about these two firearms. So those firearms have been recovered. The person of interest is a known gang member, leader of one of the gangs in the area, who faces 6 other charges and is currently out on bail. A multi-disciplinary team consisting of the DPCI, the Hawks, whose main focus is organized crime, Gauteng Crime Intelligence and Special Operations, a provincial tracking team, a tactical response team, PRASA, and the anti-gang unit worked tirelessly overnight and during the weekend and have achieved some results quite quickly, which demonstrates their commitment as well as their competence. The investigations are ongoing. All the people who are involved in the 4 murders have not yet been arrested, and so the work of the police service and the prosecutorial arm of government is still ongoing. But the Premier and I are here to demonstrate publicly our commitment to supporting the efforts of the community, their safety and security, to deal with the ongoing scourge of gang violence, which is mostly related to drug trafficking. Our work is not done. Our work in Reiger Park, our work across the province, and our work across the country. So our efforts will continue. I meet with General Timpane tomorrow, as well as General Kwanazi, to strengthen the efforts that we are making to deal with gang violence and organized crime generally. I don't have anything further to say at this point. I will not discuss the operational methods of the police. I hope you will appreciate that the investigation continues, but we thought we should even at this early stage give the media and the public an update about what has happened overnight, because there is some progress to report. Thank you very much. Let me just ask the Premier if he's got some comments.
No, that's fine. You've covered
sure?
everything, yeah? Just respond to the questions.
Okay. 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
1 or 2 questions.
One question. My name is Calvin Ruda from SABC News. If maybe you can take us through, how did you know that those firearms were there? Is it an intelligence driving operation where you are informed by the members of the public? How did you end up there in that particular ship?
So I could say, for instance, in my response, it's operational matter. Okay? But I don't want the police to answer questions like that either. This concerns operational investigative methods. So what is clear is that the police have effective methods of investigation. Otherwise, they could not have achieved these results. They are preliminary results. We haven't concluded the case overnight, but it wouldn't be helpful for me to discuss operational methods. The Premier and I received a full briefing. I've been here for the last hour. The Premier joined me about half an hour ago. So we have some insight into the way the police have operated overnight and achieved this breakthrough. It's not the end of the case, as I said, but there is progress.
Thank you. Usipamanda Koke from EMCA Minister. I've got a couple of questions. I'll be brief. Can you clarify for us, this person of interest, is he a suspect or not? When you say person of interest, my understanding is that he's not a suspect. He's taken in for questioning. Was he taken in this morning? Also, you said he's out on bail. Is it involving murder cases? Was he released 2 months ago or 1 month ago? And also, on the issue of allegations made by some family, or rather I would say community members, alleging that some of the police in the area, not all, they are saying a few, is in cahoots with criminal elements. How would you respond to that allegation? Because This morning I interviewed 12 people. All of them said they fear to come forward with the information because it gets leaked to the gang members.
So we have used language carefully. The person has been taken in and is a person of interest. Secondly, I can confirm that this person of interest is a known gang member and that he is facing other charges, serious charges, and that he is currently out on bail. I will say nothing further on that subject. As far as those allegations that are being made, let me tell you what my mindset is at the moment. I visited the community yesterday because two gang members, two members of the anti-gang units, young police officers, were mercilessly slain in this community by gang members who live in Reiger Park. I am concerned about those two officers as well as the two young women who were murdered mercilessly by those involved in the gang violence in Reiger Park and elsewhere. I think the community also needs to appreciate that these two young officers, who are family members, who have parents, who have brothers and sisters, who have friends, are no more. Now, no aspersions can be cast against those members of the anti-gang units. I find that unacceptable. I understand why it's difficult for members of the community to share information about known criminals in Reiger Park, because they believe they are taking their lives at risk because these killers are merciless, as we've seen. That is the reason. And we know that these gangs are able to embed themselves in communities because they use their positions of power and the resources that they gain through criminal activity to embed members of the community in their networks by providing food parcels, for instance, and so forth. So that should be acknowledged. That is what makes dealing with this problem also more difficult for the police. We have a big challenge to deal with gang violence in our country. A lot of it has to do with the history and legacy of the system we lived under. There are entrenched patterns of poverty and unemployment, particularly youth unemployment in our communities, which need attention. But the gangs are the problem, and the police minister has to respond to the problem of criminality. And my main concern at the moment is to achieve justice for the two slain police officers who were deployed here because we demanded it. I came to Reiger Park in response to previous incidents and demanded that the anti-gang units be strengthened. Now I must come back and deal with the fact that two officers were slain and visit their families. That's what I did last night. So I don't have much more to say on that matter.
Maybe to add my voice, this was a multi-disciplinary team that we've deployed to attend to this matter. You might be aware that the incident happened almost 3 days ago. And I'm really quite relieved that the team has done what they were mandated to do. And the team was comprising of the Hawks, and that's why the head of the Hawks in the province. They are the lead because this is organized crime. It was also including the Gauteng Crime Intelligence and Tactical Special Operations. And the reasons are obvious. And it also had an anti-gang unit as well as the tracking team. And I must also congratulate the community because a lot of information that was brought also came from community members. And on the basis of that, I think the team worked really around the clock. We also had a team from PRASA that assisted in ensuring that this matter is attended to. The minister is correct. It was extremely difficult when we visited the families last night. I think we left Mamelodi just after 7 o'clock or so. And to have the entire family around the table expecting us to say something different, but to confirm that indeed their loved one had passed on was a heavy, heavy task. And the minister and the national acting commissioner indicated that we know who we're looking for now. And therefore, when the news broke that indeed a person of interest has been picked up, it does not only bring relief to us, but it also brings relief to the affected families. The Brakpan family was a very painful one, without necessarily undermining the Mamelodi family, because the father says to me, this young fellow, we're persuading him to say, can't you look within the SAPS for other responsibilities rather than being part of the anti-gang unit? And he responded to his father, said, if I can't do it, who must do it? To me, it demonstrated the highest form of commitment, and therefore we had no choice but to hunt for those that have committed to this horrendous deed. And with the information that the minister have outlined, we are quite relieved, and that is why we want to thank all the teams that have been part of this operation, and we appreciate it. There's still a lot of work to be done, but at least we know where we are going. Unlike being all over, we know where we are going, and I think another update may follow soon. But for now, we are quite relieved that at least got the rifles, and we know who are we looking for now. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Premier. Thank you, Minister. Mine is a quick one, and perhaps it's a bit of a clarity-seeking question, Minister. Where you found the rifles, are you at liberty to confirm where it was? Because when we were at the scene, it was just along a stretch of road, and I think there were benches there. So I'm not sure if they were recovered at a home, and if the person of interest is from that home. Maybe if you could clarify that for us. Thank you, Minister.
No, we have had a briefing about how the police were able to recover the firearms, what information they received and followed through. And clearly they had information which indicated where they could recover the firearms. I really don't want to say anything further on an ongoing investigation, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Minister, just one from me. I'm done. I promise.
You don't keep your promises.
I'm keeping this one.
Yeah.
Is it true that 3 people were taken in for questioning over the weekend, excluding this person of interest?
Sorry, Minister. Speak to this camera, please.
That one.
Yes.
All I'm prepared to say is that one person was taken in for questioning, but he's not the only one who is. He's not the only one who is an interest in this. Where we have an interest, because these murders were not carried out by one person. So there are other people who are under investigation and who are being sought.
That would be the very last from SABC, I also promised. Just two very quick one. Have you visited the families of the other two women? And also, will the funeral be joined?
The funeral of the two officers?
Yes. Of the two women who were also...
No, there can't be a joint funeral. So of the two officers, one is going to take place on Saturday and one on Sunday, as far as I'm aware. But the planning of the funerals in consultation with the families is what's ongoing. They indicated to us yesterday, because we wanted two separate funerals, that the way to do it is perhaps to have one on Saturday and one on Sunday. We're not involved at all in planning the funerals of the two young women, and I haven't visited the families. I think there's an ongoing investigation, and it wouldn't be right for me to visit the families at this point until there's clarification about what is an ongoing investigation.
We keep our promise. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I kept the promise that it will rain outside. It was raining.
Thanks very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks. I'll follow you.
It's raining outside.
Yeah, I told you.
You've just been listening to a briefing by the Police Minister, the Acting Police Minister Firoz Cachalia, and the Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi in Reiger Park this afternoon, because that's where 4 people, 2 of them members of the police's anti-gang unit, were killed over the weekend. The breaking news from this briefing is that now a person of interest has now been taken in by police for questioning. What is interesting from the limited profile that we've got of that man who's been taken in for questioning is that he is a known gang leader in that community who's currently out on bail and faces another 6 charges, criminal charges unrelated to the shootings in Reiger Park this past weekend.
And of course, Calvin Dludla was inside that room monitoring those developments and will give us a complete breakdown on what the minister as well as the premier had to say. Of course, this also, as Thembekile alluded to earlier on, comes after a bloodbath, essentially, also in the Western Cape. That's where 11 people were killed in 3 separate incidences in as many days. Of course, we'll keep you up to breast in terms of those developments and other news we're tracking for you at the top of the hour.